People are losing it, folks. Losing it big time. Of course, I'm talking about all these protesters. They're out and about on Mother's Day fighting for their right to an abortion. Anybody see the irony in this? Okay, so you're pro-abortion or pro-choice. You want to have the right to an abortion, and yet you're protesting on Mother's Day. Correct me if I'm wrong here. But if you get an abortion, at that point, are you no longer a mother? And did you see this one? It was on Breitbart. Mayor Leadfoot in Chicago. Mayor Leadfoot is now calling the LGBTQ community to fight for abortion rights. A call to arms. Now, if you're bisexual, okay, maybe this is an issue that affects you because you like to partake in two parts of the buffet, so to speak. But as somebody who loves life, who writes music in his spare time, who believes in free speech and creativity, the preservation of history and culture, I believe in life and preserving life. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Yes, it's your body. And can I be honest here? I feel bad for these doctors who have to perform these abortions on these women. Because let's face it, from what I saw in the crowd, these are not the most attractive people, inside or out. Now, I'll admit I'm no prize. I'm just a regular schlub out here doing this YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, I changed the icon for the channel. Hope you like it. Or in the process of doing that. So I chose what was to be the first national flag of the Confederacy. Not as a preservation of slavery or white supremacy, racism, but as a protest against censorship. And the first national flag of the Confederacy looks a lot like the Betsy Ross flag. Well, there is a reason for that, because they wanted a return to the principles of the original 13 colonies and the Articles of Confederation, the idea that states are sovereign and independent. Which leads me to this whole issue of abortion. It should be brought back to the state level. 9 people in robes should not be deciding what's best for the rest of the country. If we brought all these issues, these social issues, cultural issues, back to the states, let them handle it however they see fit, we wouldn't have people protesting in the streets. You may have some people protesting at City Hall, but we wouldn't see it on the scale that we're seeing in these different cities over what's going on in Washington, D.C. So let's get to these headlines. Have a little fun here today. So at NPR says here, Texas's. That reminds me, I just got to mention this, just for fun here. Does anybody remember this massage parlor incident with Al Gore? Where he talked about, what was it, buttocks and breasts? So Texas, the new Texas abortion laws are complicating care for miscarriages. At NPR, The Washington Post, Senator Bob Casey says he will support Women's Health Protection Act. New York Times, good old New York Times, all the news that isn't fit to print or read. The old gray lady getting grayer. Opinion, Gretchen Whitmer. I'll fight anti-abortion laws in Michigan if Roe fails. You go, girl. Abortion rights, this is at CNN. Abortion rights advocates are raising alarms about a nearly century-old state law. And of course, there's if you go to Google, you see this. People ask, is abortion a right in the U.S.? The current judicial interpretation of the U.S. Constitution regarding abortion following the Supreme Court of the United States is 1973 landmark decision in Roe v. Wade and subsequent companion decisions is that abortion is legal but may be restricted by the states to varying degrees. Is abortion a right in the Constitution? Oh, this is a good question. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution provides a fundamental right to privacy that protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose whether to have an abortion. There's some serious debate about that. Because nowhere in the 14th Amendment does it talk about an actual right to privacy. You have a right to be, according to the Bill of Rights, to be secure in your property, papers, protection from harm, physical harm. You have the right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, of religion. So this whole idea of a disinformation czar, it's not going to work. It will be struck down. Guaranteed, it will be struck down. No, you're not going to silence my speech. I have a right to say what I want in this country. You don't like it? Well, tough. See else. What else are they asking? What countries have abortion rights? Other countries soon followed, including Canada, 1969, the United States. They're referring to a previous case or something here. 1973, Roe v. Wade. Let's see, Tunisia and Denmark, 1973. Austria, 1974. France and Sweden, 1975. New Zealand, 1977. Italy, 1978, so on and so on. But shouldn't we be celebrating life? I think it's really tragic that if you look at Hollywood, for example, everything they produce is dark. It's all about death and destruction. There's no hope. They're giving a big giving a big FU to the man. Who is this man you talk about? This big FU to this man. But everything they produce is dark, as though there's no hope. Well, there is hope. You need to live a little more. Go out and explore. I was looking over my Instagram page last night, trying to add some different photos to it. And I'll admit, I'm not the most tech-savvy person. So I'm having this issue with trying to upload these photos from my Chromebook from my gallery or photos, and for whatever reason I can't do it. I don't know. If somebody in the comment section below can let me know how I can actually do that, maneuver around that in Chromebook to get that up on Instagram. But I'm not one of those people who likes to do a lot of videos. I prefer posting pictures. Tells more about my personality. But if you go to my Instagram account, which is #JasonComposes, there's a little picture of me at the top. I'm wearing like a, what do they call that? A fedora. And I'm holding up a score that I'm working on, or I finished, smoking a pipe. But I've got all these great pictures of things like the Silverdome, now lost to history. The first stadium to have a retractable roof. Shouldn't we remember that? Have a picture of an abandoned motel somewhere in the desert. There's this really cool photos because I'm into urbexing. One of my hobbies. But I posted this really cool photo. Can't remember where I found it. Of light coming through these busted windows of an abandoned warehouse. And I wrote in the caption, I said, the stories these walls could tell. Optimism shines through her busted windows. See, I think that there's hope for every single one of you out there who thinks that you don't have what it takes to make it in life. That abortion is your only option. Well, it's not your only option. And instead of celebrating death, why don't you celebrate life? Because as Tchaikovsky pointed out in writing his Fourth Symphony in the final movement, and I've mentioned this before, I believe, he said, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling blue, go out and meet with the people. Find their joy and realize that life is tolerable after all. Tchaikovsky wrote this symphony, his Fourth Symphony, after this disastrous marriage to hide his homosexuality. If you've studied the biography of Tchaikovsky, I think he fled to Sweden or something like that to work on this piece. Dedicated the work to Madame von Meck. They had a correspondence with each other, but never really met in person, except once by accident. But the point is, life is tolerable after all. There is hope. And isn't it ironic that these people fighting for abortion rights are doing it on Mother's Day? And what do mothers do? They give birth. Thought I'd point that out. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you believe that this should go back to the states? I do. You know, California can do what it wants to do, and New York can do what it wants to do. But as for me, I'm going to celebrate life. All the things that come with it. And I can channel my experiences into my music. I can become more disciplined in my craft. I can look at somebody's Instagram and say, hey, way to go. You've made it. Whatever you're doing with your life, whatever endeavor it is, I'm not going to be jealous of that. Because that gives me inspiration to continue doing what I need to do to complete whatever I've set out for myself to do. I don't want to ramble on here. I just, maybe this isn't all, but maybe it's not making sense. It's all tied together, folks. It's all tied together because we're born, we go to school, right? We grow up, we go to school, and we get out of high school. We remember some people, we don't remember others. We go on Instagram, wherever we see them. They've got kids, maybe they're still single. And sometimes we get envious of what they have. Just one of those things of life. But we would never experience any of these emotions, any of these events in our life if nobody was given the chance to live. If all we did was abort every single baby that was born. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Cultural Confederacy saying, peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this great country. I'll catch you next time. Like I said, just want to have some fun today. Look at these different headlines. Talk to you one-on-one and tell you what I think about this issue. Let's not turn this into a fetal frenzy. Cultural Confederacy here saying, peace out.